Well, welcome everybody to our very first Yakima wine time. There's no H in wine. It's this kind of wine.
Okay.
And this is the first in a series that we hope you're going to enjoy, where we're meeting a local personality, getting to know them a bit better, somebody you may have seen in the news or somebody you may have seen on the news. And our first guest, I'm delighted to say, is Mike McCabe, a legend in
I don't know about that, but I love the introduction, John, as much. It's so good to see you.
Well, good to see you too. We don't often get to meet outside of the studio.
No,
so
not very often at all.
Very nice. So this is actually today we are in the Yakima Visitor Center. We want to say a very big thank you to them for hosting us today. And they've also very generously and very kindly supplied us with the wine. And this is from Whitman, and this is called Tinker. And this is their red blend. So, Mike, are you a red or a white fan?
I am a red fan all the way. I like a white every now and then, especially, maybe like a rosé if it's really, really hot outside. It's a good little wine to have. But mostly I'm a red kind of guy. How about you?
I do love a red. I must say, that blend is very, very nice. So cheers.
Cheers.
Good to see you in this context.
Good to see you as well.
I'm sure it's going to be lovely.
I'm sure it's going to be fantastic.
Oh, indeed. That's very nice. So that's from Whitman Hill. That's a really nice wine called Tinker.
I like it.
Now, we want to have a chance to just sit down, chat with you, have a glass of wine, get to know Mike McCabe a little bit better, because you literally are a legend in the Yakima broadcasting. You've been here forever. In fact, of course, because you grew up here. You grew up here in Sela.
I did, yeah. I grew up in the Valley. Graduated high school from Sela. And grew up in Sela, a great community. And I have been here for, it's been a long time. Graduated many, many, many years ago. And I've been able to stay in the area. I'm in the Tri-Cities, but Yakima is home, and the Valley is always home to me, and I get down here a lot. And so, I spent many years at KIMA-TV initially, and now I'm in the Tri-Cities, and I do work for both, and so it just has worked beautifully.
Now, you went off, though, to Utah to study. That's where you actually went to university. You went away for a little bit.
Not Utah, actually. Idaho, yes, exactly, yeah. And so I kind of worked my way into the business really through the back door. I mean, really out of high school, I started in production, believe it or not, running audio as well as the teleprompter way back in the day with TJ Close and Stu Seibel. So it was back in the day where you actually had to tape the scripts onto the teleprompter and I'd roll the dial. It's the words that the anchors read off of the camera. For those that may not know what a teleprompter is. Anyhow, sometimes the script would get folded in there and, oh my gosh, I'd panic. And the anchor's like, what's going on? And then there I did camera work as well. And I worked in master control for a couple of years. And then I decided I want to be in front of the camera. I didn't know if that was such a good idea or not, but I gave it a go. And then I left KMA and I was in Idaho and met my wife there and worked for a small station at KLEW in Lewiston, Idaho, on air, my first on air job. And then from there, I came back home to Yakima, and that's where I wanted to be. I never really wanted to do anything other than weather. That was my passion. I reported for 3 years, did not like it. John, I got to tell you, I don't know how you guys do it sometimes, but I did it for 3 years, and I was able to do weather on the weekends, and I reported 3 days a week. And I did everything from a blood drive to some very sad stories, and I have a huge appreciation for the reporters because I really think that they're the hardest people and the hardest working people and underpaid people in the newsroom, honestly. Weather, well, so do I. Yeah, exactly. But so I respect the work that's done, and I think Yakima is an amazing community, and the people have been fantastic. It's just been a great ride so far, and I'm still doing it. And as long as they allow me to do it, I'll keep doing it as long as they let me.
Oh, I think we'll allow you to do it forever.
Well,
some people do it. Look at Alistair, 70 years old.
35 years. Amazing accomplishment, yeah. And I've known Alan for years, and I was so glad to see all the accolades that he received. And so it's nice to see that he's finally being able to relax a little bit because I know he worked hard and we all work hard in business. And so it's an interesting business, as you know.
Oh, it absolutely is. And it's interesting that you started behind the scenes because I think you're such a natural on camera. But why was that the thing that really grabbed your attention? Why was that what you wanted to pursue?
Television?
Or what weather?
Oh, weather. Well, I mean, honestly, when I was a kid in middle school or even intermediate school, I loved the weather. And I would watch Stu Seibel on TV. And when we would go to Seattle, I remember watching Steve Poole on Como television, thinking, wow, that looks like a really cool job. I love weather. I get super excited about snow. If it ever, we got snow or any kind of thunderstorm, it just excited me. Now, did I know that that was something I was going to pursue as a career at that time? No, I didn't. I just knew that I had an interest in it. And then I took a vocational program here in Yakima, Yakima Valley Skill Center, and they had a TV production course that taught everything, camera work, all that sort of thing. I did that during high school, and that's how I was able to land a job at KIMA TV, actually running the teleprompter. It was just an entry-level position job, but I knew even then I wanted to be in front of the camera. I mean, like I'd jump on the green screen and I would just kind of imitate, do the weather. It's just something that I really wanted to do. And so, yeah, I went through the back door, like I said, getting into this business. I learned everything that I could behind the scenes, and then I was able to get in front of the camera. And my biggest problem was at that time, I still looked like I was 16 years old. And
Well, you still do.
oh, well, geez, thanks. I don't know about that. But I mean, like, I looked like a 12-year-old, honestly. I probably weighed all of 125 pounds. And I remember going on the green screen, and one news director, TJ Close, is like, man, you just look like you're a kid. And then back then I was, but I mean, I was like 22, so I wasn't really a kid.
I wish people would say that about me now. But
I know. Well, yeah, and I'm just an old guy, yeah, so it was something I knew that I wanted to do. I did have passions to go to a big market. That was the initial dream, certainly. But the community here treated me so well. My wife at the time loved the area, and she taught out at Wapato, and she not a fan of the big cities, and she wanted to raise our kids here. And so I had a decision to make, and that was either family first or career. And I kind of chose family, and I always have. I love being on TV. It's a wonderful job. But, I knew that, okay, this is where I'm going to be as long as they'll have me. And they've treated me pretty well along the way. And so here I am. And so, like I said, it's been a real great job, but it's not all, I'm not the guy I am the guy you see on TV. There's no question.
That is true. You're very much yourself.
I am, and I have other passions and interests outside of television altogether, especially as I age. There are other things that I'm interested in other than TV, news and or weather. So,
well, let's chat about some of those, because I know one of the things that I had a sort of tenuous link with many, many years ago when I worked in production was the Pampered Chef. And
yes,
this is something that you've really actually excelled at. And I know you've got a big following online for the Pampered Chef stuff that you do, and all the fun things you do. And it is a lot of fun.
It is a lot of fun. And, that came out of a need that needed to be filled with my family at the time when my wife wasn't working and we had 2 young children. And, as you know, not making big bucks in television news, especially at that time. I started it 17 years ago, and I loved to cook. And I thought, well, maybe this is something that I could do. I wasn't sure if it was something that I could actually do with regards to my contract in television, but I was. And so I just did a couple cooking shows, and I was going to do 4, just enough to pay for Christmas for my kids without putting it on a credit card. And I did that. And, I've been doing it 17 years since then. And and a lot of the efforts now that I do are fundraising shows. I'm a part of Wishing Stars. So a lot of the free product I receive, I've got a room stockpiled of great kitchen utensils that we make gift baskets for Wishing Star, as well as other organizations that my wife is a part of. So that's my focus now. And I just recently hung up the apron on Pampered Chef.
Really?
2 weeks ago. Yeah. I'm still active, but I'm focusing on other things in my life right now. It's been a wonderful, I guess they call it a side hustle. Really, for me, it was just a great hobby that did generate some additional income, especially at the time when I needed it. People would always say, wait, is that weather guy, do a show? It's like, wait, he does Pampered Chef. Like, it confused people. They didn't understand, why I would be doing that. But it's a great business model. And, I met a lot of great people. A lot of great people, wonderful people there. Yes. And so, but yeah, that's another part of it that maybe a lot of people don't know. Yeah.
But the cooking is really interesting. So you're so passionate about this. I mean, how did that develop? Well, did your mother encourage you to cook? Did your father cook?
Yeah. My father cooked. My mother cooked. They loved being in the kitchen, and I learned a lot that way. And I love to cook. And so it was just natural for me. And I do all the cooking anyway. Like My wife says she can't cook, but she can actually, but she just prefers that I do the cooking. And I love to cook. It's therapeutic for me. I love to get in the kitchen and make something. And, so I've always loved to cook. So that was always easy.
What's your favorite cuisine?
Oh my gosh, I love it all. I mean, simple protein, steak, a good steak and a potato. I'm kind of, I mean, potatoes kind of guy, but, I like seafood too. I just like things that are easy to prepare, that are delicious, quality ingredients, that are super simple. I don't get real fancy. That's what I love. And things that are easy to make, honestly. I'm not a chef. People will say, oh, he's this chef. Well, no, I'm not a chef. I work for a company called Pampered Chef. I'm just a guy that likes to.
And you're not pampered at all.
No, yeah, exactly. Right.
So, I don't know, what a cookbook in your future, do you think, maybe?
I don't know, honestly. I sort of doubt it. Luckily, with the schedule that I have, I go to work at 2:45 in the afternoon. I get off at 11:30 at night, and I get a break in between, which is wonderful. But I have my mornings and my early afternoons free, so I do have time. My kids have now graduated. It's just me and my wife. And so I have more time to pursue other passions. And, maybe that would be something I wouldn't mind looking into possibly. But I also have other things that I want to try and pursue as well while I still can.
Well, look, we're experimenting with lots of different ideas. We're doing wine time.
Yes.
Our pilot for this. We're also, John Franklin's going to be doing a history spot. Maybe we need cooking with Mike McCabe as well. Mike in the kitchen.
Yeah, I love that.
That's something we should do.
If you go back far enough, oh gosh, we're talking 15 years ago when we had the noon program. Gosh, it's longer than that, maybe 20 years ago. We had the morning show, and then we had the noon show. And the noon show every Friday, we'd do a cooking segment. Yeah, and it was so much fun. And I actually got to do some cooking segments, and it was called Cooking with Erica. There was this woman and her husband that had a bed and breakfast here in town, and delightful people. And we'd bring a camera crew. I'd go in there. She'd make this. She was a great cook. She just made these great, awesome dishes. And we would always say, we'd do a toast. We go, cheers to good life. It was really good. Back in the day when everything was recorded on 3/4 inch,
Oh, yeah.
big
That you couldn't edit.
Yes, exactly. And I still have video of that somewhere, like on VHS in a box in my garage somewhere. I don't even know if I can retrieve that or not, or get it digitized, but I had so much fun doing that.
We need to talk about this.
Yeah. Maybe
might be an idea.
Yeah, I think it could be. Yeah, and really have a lot of fun.
I got lots of sous chefs who might be willing to help you out, so we'll see.
I love help.
Now, you mentioned your family a few times. You've been married quite a long time. You've got 2 adult daughters now. Actually, they've grown up here in the Valley, and one of them's getting married quite soon.
One of them is married.
Oh, now it's happening.
My oldest daughter, she got married in November.
Okay.
In Idaho, Napa, Idaho.
And about to become a granddad.
Any day. Like literally, my wife said yesterday, she goes, oh, you're going to Yakima, and you just hope Kendra, my oldest daughter, I hope she doesn't have the baby. And I was like, well, if I do, I can always run back. But and she's actually moved back to the area. Okay. And due any day now. So I'm going to be a grandpa. So that's super exciting. Life goes very fast. Exciting. My youngest daughter just graduated 2 weeks ago from high school, and she's going to Boise State University in the fall. So a lot of things are happening. I have a kid married. I'm going to have a baby soon, and then a daughter that just graduated and is going to school in the fall. And it seemed like it was yesterday when I actually brought them into the studio a couple of times. I shouldn't probably say this. We had conflict with babysitter issues. I'd bring them into work. I don't think you could do that.
He used to bring his kids in.
Oh, is that right?
Very occasionally,
Yeah. So
I think the viewers actually love it. They'd love to see your granddaughter or son. Do you know yet which it is?
It is going to be a girl. Yeah. So we have a girl on the way.
So you know what? This is something. Have a chat with her mum.
Yeah.
Time.
I will. That could be something maybe I could try and do.
I think the reviewers would love to.
Yeah.
So, either of your children interested in whether going in the same direction? Broadcast?
No,
not something they want to follow in the footsteps.
Not at all. Yeah, no desire at all. They don't even watch the news. That's how it goes. So I can almost say or do anything and talk about my family, and they have no idea. Unless maybe one of their friends or parents or something will say, Mike mentioned you on the newscast the other night. And I'm like, oh gosh, what did he say? Kind of thing. I mean, they occasionally will watch. They're on their phone. That's where everybody's attention is. And
we'll coach this because this is going to be an online show.
Yeah, this is an online show. So maybe we're broadening our horizons a little bit, reaching into the daughters will watch. Maybe. I don't know.
The very first time I ever did an interview, not show I was hosting, but my son said to me, I hope you're not going to mention me. And I thought, well, funnily enough, no, I wasn't. But now you've mentioned it.
Yeah. Yeah, my girls are the same. Yeah. And if I post any pictures on social media at all and they're in the picture, it has to be pre-approved.
Oh, really?
Oh, yeah. Oh, no. I can't just post a picture with them in it. They get very upset with me. They have to look, and half the time, more than half, 80% of the time, they're like, no, Dad, you're not posting. I look stupid. Or I said, no, I want to post this. I'm proud of you. Let me post this picture. So both me and my wife know better. So we always better make sure you get approval from the girls, before you post that. And so that's what I learned.
Well, that's how life changes. And that's how I think media has changed. But what else have you seen change, particularly in the media landscape? I mean, you did talk about the green screen. I mean, for people who don't know, the weather is actually done completely blind. It's really quite entertaining. Yeah. When you're in the studio, all we see is you standing in front of this green set. All the graphics and everything are put in afterwards. But that was there when you started out.
Yes.
But I can remember the days where they used to use magnetic clouds and sun and put it on a board, and then you have to move it and everything. The technology is really incredible.
It is. I remember those too. Okay, John. I do remember those days way, way back when Jimmy Nolan, who did the birthday club show, Uncle Jimmy's Clubhouse, and people in the Valley who've been around for a while remember that. I was never on the program, always wanted to be on the program. But yeah, they had you're right, the magnetic screen, the cutout board of Washington State with the sun and the clouds. I would love to go back and do that, honestly. I never was. I mean, I was too young, but wouldn't that be kind of fun? They would. But yeah, now everything's done on a green screen, and it has changed a lot over the years, as you know. And back then, if you wanted to get information, you had to turn the television on. I mean, I'm old enough to remember where you actually had to get up and turn the dial to flip the channel, right? And then came the wired remote. That was the cool thing, but it wasn't actually a real remote. It was wired to the television.
Well, until your kid's sister accidentally pulled it out.
Yes, exactly.
Not knowing why it worked.
Yeah, and television was more romantic then. I think it was more, I don't want to say it was glamorous necessarily, but, people, you had, I think, maybe a bigger audience because it was more captive, because people didn't have the cell phones.
Well, there was nothing else to watch.
There was nothing else to watch.
Limited number of channels.
Yeah. I mean, I remember back when it was just 4 channels, ABC, NBC, CBS, and PBS, and
that was it.
Maybe one other, and that was it, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah. So it's changed a lot.
But it's also, I think the technology has also helped. It makes weather forecasting a lot easier.
Oh, yeah, absolutely. Yeah, our weather computers are amazing. Absolutely incredible technology that has made our jobs a lot easier. The forecast models are smarter. They are better at predicting outcomes. We have a lot of different weather models that we blend together, and the computer does an amazing job of basically doing it for me. My biggest job is trying to tell a weather story that is entertaining to the audience, but also being serious when I need to be serious when we have severe weather. And luckily, we live in the Valley where our weather is just pretty fantastic all the time. We don't get a lot of severe weather here, but and then that's what I like about it. I can be creative. I can talk about other things during my 3 minutes doing the weather, whether it's an event that's happening. And I need to try and remember to do that a little more, but we just live in a great area. We get all 4 seasons here, and
that's true.
I mean, yeah, it's just, for me, I just have to tell a story that people can understand without getting too technical.
Well, I actually love the way you do the weather, because it is very friendly. It seems very personal. And you do like to have fun with it. I mean, the holidays, we always see Mike McCabe in the suits, and the viewers always want to know what you're going to be wearing and looking forward to it. So where did that idea come from?
By accident.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it really was. It was by, speaking of going outside of just the television part, through social media. On Facebook, I posted there was this suit that I saw. It was a snowflake suit. And I think my wife said something, oh, wouldn't that be fun? And I was like, yeah, that would be kind of fun. So just as a whim, I just posted it on Facebook many years ago, probably 10 years ago now. And it's like, this would be kind of fun. And I got a lot of people saying, yeah, you should. And so a high school friend of mine, a good friend of mine, Bill Schul, he saw that, and he found the link to the actual suit, purchased it for me, and then sent it to my house. And he was like, you got a package? And I was like, oh my gosh, it's this suit. What in the world? And I thought, oh, now I'm going to have to wear it on TV. And I got kind of freaked out about it. I was like, their management's not going to let me wear this. And I remember going into the general manager's office, and is this something that I could wear? And it was like, well, I mean, sure, why not? And as long as there was no severe weather. And I did. And then immediately after that, we get emails in the newsroom.
Oh, yes.
A lot of times they're not always great.
No.
That's why I like weather, because a lot of people leave the weather guy alone or the weather girl alone, usually. So if you get an email, especially a positive one, it's always a good thing. And I got a lot of emails off that one suit, and I thought, whoa, okay, I'll keep this in the closet and wear it again. Maybe I'll wear it again here in a couple weeks if we have snow in the forecast, that isn't like a major snowstorm. Anyway, bottom line short is I started with one. Then my friend, he bought me another one the next holiday season. And I think he bought 3 or 4. And finally I was like, no more. My wife's like, no, don't. He's a great guy. He's one of my best friends. And my wife started buying him then after that. And I probably have about 18 to 20. So then we went from the Christmas season to now, I have one for Valentine's Day, 4th of July, Halloween. I have 3 or 4 different Halloween ones. And so it just kind of grew from there. So the only problem and the challenge with that is, of course, I've run out of color options because I can't wear green.
Nothing green, yeah.
Yes,
right.
Because I'm in front of a green screen that keys out. It's a production term. Basically, it makes you invisible. But that's been fun. And, for me, it wasn't about me. I had real problems with it at first. It was like, but the viewers loved it so much. And then I go to the grocery store and, someone will come up to me and says, my mother watches you and she's in a nursing home and just makes her day. And I thought, wow, just by putting on a suit and so I thought, okay.
It's a lovely thing. I've been very lucky a couple of years to sent me some ties.
Yes.
And I'd like to sort of go the same direction as you on the holidays, but I think, no, there's going to be a really bad use to it. I'm sitting there dressed like a clown.
Yes.
Yeah. So I saved the holiday ties just for the day before Christmas.
Yeah. And I noticed a few. You're a sharp dresser. You really are. I tend to just keep about 3 different suit jackets and I just kind of rotate them. I probably should expand my wardrobe a little bit, but
you always look the best.
Well, you look good too. And, I think having what you're talking about there is by letting the viewers know that we have a personality and, but you're right. I'm lucky in the weather department where I can wear these suits. Unfortunately, you have a much bigger role and you're delivering sometimes not such great news. And so you're right. Yeah, you can't really get away. I can sort of get away with that. Unless we've got a major storm coming through and I'm wearing, I don't know, snowflakes.
I think even then they forgive.
Yeah, they might. I don't know. So I have a little different license there to be creative that way where, yeah, as a newsman, you can't be wearing bunny ears on Easter talking about, a murder somewhere, people like, that doesn't really work. And the viewers will certainly let you know.
Oh, yes. Oh, no, they don't know everything. Absolutely. I mean, the interesting thing is, of course, they and I actually take this as a compliment. They think I'm very much involved with the news and that they believe I write. And so sometimes they believe it's just my opinion, which I think is quite fascinating.
Yeah.
But with you, I think they're much more forgiving of the weather.
Absolutely. Yeah.
And you have a much different rapport with the audience, I think, than the news people do.
Yeah, I mean,
it's like job in the world where you can be wrong all the time and keep your job.
The same thing. Say the same thing. That's absolutely right. People know that.
Right.
And so, yes, that's why I love the weather department. I think I have the best job in the newsroom. I really do, because yes, I can be wrong. And, what I'm doing is I'm just communicating information. And luckily here in the Valley, our weather's pretty predictable. Sometimes we get some curveballs to a degree, especially in the winter time. It can be a challenge. However, I have a lot of license to have a lot of fun. That's why I knew back in the day, like, I want that job. Not only did I want that job, it was a category or something I was interested in. So I thought, okay, I'm going to do this. And I didn't know that I'd be doing it for as long as I have been doing it, but I have. Like I said, I'll keep doing it as long as they let me.
Well, we hope so too. I mean, what do you think? What do you think of the future of McCabe? We hope you're going to be around Yakima for a long, long time.
Yeah. Well, I am sure.
No plans to move away, I'm sure.
No, just keep doing what I'm doing. But I have some other passions that I'm working on outside of TV news that are completely different, total 360 on what I do on television.
I'm the sneak preview.
It's such a weird thing. I started flipping couches.
Oh,
do you know what that is?
I don't know what that means.
Well, I was on TikTok, and this kid in Arizona, he takes furniture and he cleans it up and then he sells it.
Oh, selling that kind of flipping. Gotcha.
Yes. And so I have my mornings and afternoons free, and a cold day back in January, I was going to the grocery store. It's weird. People don't understand it. My wife does. She understands it now, but my friends are like, "Why are you doing? You're taking a couch and isn't that weird? And you're cleaning it up." I go, "Yeah, I'm taking a couch, I'm cleaning it up, and I'm reselling it. And that's what I'm doing it." And it wasn't so much for the money part because I'm not trying to keep the lights on. It was just something for me to do that's outside of anything that I've ever done before. At 55 years old, I am picking up pieces of furniture. I have a truck and a garage, so I have two things that work in my favor. But I've never loaded up furniture before, let alone use a tie strap. So I jumped on Facebook Marketplace. I typed in free, and there's couches everywhere that people are just want to get rid of. It's the end of the month. Maybe they're getting a new piece of furniture, and their old furniture, they just want it out. They don't want to take it to the dump, or it needs cleaned. I pick it up, I take it home, I vacuum it, I run an extractor over it. If there's rips or tears in it, I sew it with an upholstery needle. Never sewed a thing in my life. So I started doing this with one, then I did 2, 10, 20, 30. I've flipped probably 70 pieces so far. I've given some away. In fact, I just gave one away yesterday, a very nice piece that I got for free. Most of the pieces I get are for free. And I don't know, I love it. I love cleaning things up and giving them new life. It saves them from the landfill. And then the pieces I do sell are $300, $400 a piece, very reasonably priced. Sure. So my market, or my audience of people that are looking to buy that sort of thing, are people that are just starting out. Or maybe you can't go into a furniture store and buy a $2,000 couch, but maybe you can buy a $300 couch that's cleaned up. And I do a time lapse on everything. So when I post it on Facebook Marketplace, people see that it's clean. And so I'm learning a lot in the process. And there have been people that recognize me. I'll go pick something up and I go, "Are you like the news guy?" Actually, I'm the weather guy, but that's a whole nother subject, maybe for a whole nother show. But yes, so I'm kind of doing that on the side. Really, for me, it isn't so much about the money that I'm making. It is more about the person I'm becoming in the process of learning something new, of doing something I've never done before. It's not sexy. It's not glamorous. There's sweat equity in it. I'm hauling furniture. It's sweaty, but I love it.
Yes, but the finished product, I'm sure, is very beautiful.
It is. It's satisfying. Absolutely. You can take something and make it look really, really good.
And so we'll have a further conversation about this.
Yeah.
Let's see some pictures of that.
I've got pictures. I have a TikTok channel on it. It's the whole thing.
Okay, well,
yeah.
Well, Mike, this has been absolutely delightful. How's the wine?
It is fantastic. Yeah, I really like it.
Really nice. It's, as I say, it's called Tinker, and it's from Whitman Hill. It's a blend. It's very, very nice.
Yeah, no, it's very good.
And
we live in, I was going to say, we live in the perfect area for us.
Well, we do. I mean, this is why Yakima was named, the Yakima Valley was named the best wine region in the U.S. So this is proof.
It is absolute proof, yeah.
Well, Mike, this has been a pleasure. Thank you for joining me for a glass of wine. Thank you for letting us know a little bit more about Mike McCabe.
Yeah, absolutely, yeah. Oh, can we do one more thing?
We can.
And I don't even, I was surprised.
Sorry.
No, that's okay. And I'm not one to toot my horn. Well, I mean, it's one of these things that I'm honored to receive. And I'm kind of shy about it, honestly, but they surprised me yesterday.
This is a real kudos.
I call this the Old Man Award here, but it is a silver circle from the National Academy of Television and Arts and Sciences. And so I was presented with this award yesterday. I couldn't make it to the ceremony in Seattle because it happened to be on the very same day that my youngest daughter, was graduating from high school, so couldn't make it. But they came and surprised me with it. So it's an honor.
It's a huge honor, and it's something you've really deserved and worked hard for. So
I have, and
it's recognizing your entire career.
Yeah, it is, and the stuff that we do off the air. I mean, I know you do a lot of volunteer work, and so I work with classrooms a lot. My wife is an educator, so I've been to hundreds of classrooms and talked to kids about weather. And honestly, I don't do that because it looks good on my resume, so to speak. It's something that I get more out of than I think they do. You know, when you walk into a classroom and kids see someone talking to them about the weather, and the teacher says, and he's on TV, they get all excited. Now, when I walk in, they have no idea who I am, but they hear that he's on TV, so that must be important. So they listen. Yes. And so I'm able to educate them on the basics of weather. I mainly do intermediate kids, and I love doing it. I really do.
I've seen you in action. It's very, very good.
Yeah.
Well, Mike, congratulations.
Thank you so much.
Really
yeah, I appreciate it.
I want to say a huge thank you to the Yakima Visitor Center for hosting us today. It was a real delight. Thank you for the lovely wine as well. Mm-hmm. And join us for another wine time coming up very soon.